Well, you know it's going to be a good day when you start off by putting your overalls on backwards. That was me this morning. I put them on backwards. Let's go feed. Oh, everybody's going nuts this morning. What are y'all doing? Why y'all running? Hey, baby. Hey, Go-Go. Even Go-Go's coming and looking for me. Did y'all have a rough night, huh? Did you have a rough night? You're even in a hurry. My goodness. Y'all must have finished all your food last night. Y'all must have. Oh, look at the mud hole. Woo, it rained last night. Y'all, it rained last night. It's turned, I'm going to say cold. It's in the 50s right now. But it's not going to get but 64 today. These are my lined, insulated overalls that I've got on because this Alabama girl is used to warm temps, not cool temps. But we'll get there. Actually, more work gets done when it's cooler temps. So let's go in here and feed for a minute. Y'all, the Lord has blessed me this morning. There is no washing down the concrete. It's washed by rain. There's no filling water troughs. They're all full from the rain. Actually, they're running over. Feeding the little doggies real quick. Whew. Everything is wet this morning, y'all. And I am so extremely happy about it. Just blessed. And I can't get the hair out of my eyes. The wind's blowing. Let me put it behind my ears. Much better. Whew. Okay, so let me tell you what we've been trying to do. Y'all, let me put the scoop up. Okay. Ethel, you still naked? Ethel was in the feed stall. I'm gonna wrap everything up in here. Feeding was quick this morning because I didn't have to wash anything down. And it's cooler and didn't mind so much. Come here. Come on. Yeti, come on. I don't want you to get in there and get into anything. Yeti loves his trip to the pastures. He follows me everywhere. I don't know if you can see him. Yeti follows. Otis follows. Otis said, "Who turned the AC on?" All right. Let me tell you where we're at and what we're doing. The peacocks showed up. Now, Tony said that he's been hearing them scream every day, which means they are staying somewhere in the CRP and the pine trees. That's where we think they are staying. I have not heard them this morning. I did hear them a couple of days ago, but they showed up, but they were trying to get in with Miss Laura. See that? That is the peacock. They are at the barn. They have come back. Oh my gosh, look at them. They're pretty. Y'all, they've come to Miss Laura. Look at. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I'm so happy right now. Please fly over. Please fly over. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at his oh my gosh, y'all. I know I shouldn't be this happy, but I am. I think they left. They can't be far though. I just literally saw them. Y'all hear Helen? I think Helen's in heat. I wonder if they went to the pond. I'm gonna put Laura in a big kennel, like a dog crate, and open that door. She'll have everything she needs in there. She'll have food and water, but I want the peacocks to have access to her. And I hope you can hear me because I am whispering. This is exciting. Oh, it's exciting. Okay. So let's see if I can catch one of them, and if I can, then Laura and the male can have babies. That would be awesome. And then that will give me time to build a huge enclosure right here, just so that they can have some freedom. Now, she was honking at them. She would honk, they would scream, they walked the fence line back and forth, but they're so spooky now that every time I made a move to come toward the pasture, they would walk into the CRP. Now, I don't know how to get them to come into the pasture to her with them being so scared. So this is what my plan was. My plan was this really large kennel here, and it is right in front of the door that I'm standing in. Now, what I've been doing is putting her in this kennel for a while during the day when we hear them screaming, and putting the kennel in front of the door. She'll have food and water in here, and the door will be closed. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get one of the males to come into the enclosure here with her in the kennel here in front of the door, so that we can have chicks from Scott's lineage. We really want to get some Peacocks from Miss Laura and from Scott's offspring. Now, the only thing I know to do is to put her in the kennel and in front of the door, leave it open, and let them fly in here to see Miss Laura, who talks to them. Laura doesn't like it too much, so I don't leave her in here very long. I leave her in here for a couple of hours, I guess, at the most each day. But I can't leave her in here all the time, because obviously I don't want her to be held in such close quarters for very long periods of time. But the peacocks are coming to I'm standing at the door. I'm standing at the door. And the peacocks are coming to right here. They are like, they're coming to right there. So they know she's here. She has done a great job of calling them here. But I can't just leave her in that kennel. Now it's big, and I could, I can leave her in there because she's got food in there, she's got water in there, all is well according to her needs, but I don't want to leave her in there. I just don't want to leave her in there. But the peacocks, they will stay for a little while and then they'll leave. So what I'm hoping for is that eventually they'll fly to the top of the barn there and get comfortable being in the pasture here. I certainly don't want them to get in my garden. So, and I don't really mind if it's just one or both of the males, because the third one, there were 3 peacocks. It's not with them. I don't know. I'm thinking that it was another male. It could have been a female. But it's definitely not with those other 2 peacocks. The last few times that I've seen them, it's been 2 peacocks. So how to get them to come in here with Miss Laura? Now, she does her job. She calls and she honks, and they come and they'll pace the fence line here, and all the other animals tend to come over and stare at them, so I'm sure that makes them uncomfortable. But if they could just get used to them being back here again, I think that the peacocks would want to stay here at the barn where there's an unlimited supply of feed for them. And I just really believe that they would not leave. Now, what am I going to do if I catch one of them? Well, first I want eggs, fertilized eggs that I can incubate from Miss Laura there. But you see the area over there from the fence that goes down beside it to that fence, I can come back across with another fence and then put a top over it. And I could make a big enclosure that goes into the barn for safety and protection for the peacocks. But I don't want them in, a small area. But I would much rather them be here contained than out there with the predators and limited supply of food. Because, here I'm going to feed them, but I don't know what they've got out there in the unknown. I'm sure they've got seeds and berries or whatever that they eat. But wintertime's coming. And, they've been out there all summer. I mean, it's good to see them. And I'm glad that they are doing well, at least the 2 of them. The other one never stayed with them, so I'm not sure, what's going on with that. So I don't even know if the other one is, I don't know if it's still here with us or if something happened to it. It's just not with those 2. But it never liked staying with them anyway. So did it go off and try to find its own family? I don't know. But what I do know is that I've been diligent. I've put Miss Laura in that kennel now probably 3 times, but I've never gotten them to come close enough again, because it seems like when I do hear them that they're already within sight, and when I come out here, it tends to run them off. So here's my dilemma. Do I just put her in the kennel, open the door, and leave her for an entire day? and then repeat that process every day until I get one of the peacocks to go in there with her? Or do I just keep on doing what I'm doing, and when I hear them, when I happen to hear them, because there's no telling how many times they visit, go out and risk running them off again, putting her in that kennel? So, I don't know. I'm worried that it stresses her that I catch her and put her in the kennel every day. So I'm trying not to stress her so bad and put her in the kennel every single day. Now, it's a very cool day today. This whole week is going to be, it's not going to get out of the 60s. And one day this week, it's not supposed to get out of the 50s. So I think putting her in that kennel this week may be the best week to do it, because it's going to be cool and she's not going to be cramped up and hot. She's got feed and water in there. I just wish I knew what was in a peacock's brain. You know, they've got tiny brains, but I just wished I knew what was in their brain. But so far, it has not worked. So I don't know where to go from here. I know that they're happy, and at least those two are still together. I do know that we have a coyote, a fox, and a bobcat on the property. I've only seen one of each on all of my cameras. We physically saw the coyote and we physically saw the bobcat. Someone else physically saw the fox crossing the road onto our property. I just worry with the predators moving in, with it being cool weather, the predators are going to move in. It's a natural thing for them to do. They're searching for food. I just worry about the peacocks being out there with them, with the predators. But, hey, Sophie. Hey, Sophie girl. Hey, Sophie girl. She is such a good dog. Yes, she is. There's that paw. There's that beer paw. Okay. She's like, I'm going to put that paw on you as many times as I possibly can. But looking this morning, I don't see the peacocks. They do tend to scream late in the evenings, and Tony came in last night into the kitchen and said, hey, I think your peacocks are here because I hear them screaming. I think they are beginning to go to roost somewhere nearby. But you got to understand, they scream loud, and he may have heard them over on the wood line, on the property line. He could have heard them in the woods of some distant neighbors. I don't know. But, y'all, it's a difficult decision of when to put Miss Laura in the kennel and when to take her out. I know that I cannot leave her in there overnight. It's just not fair to Laura to make her sleep on the ground when she has those perches in there. She tends to sleep on top of that. It was an old rabbit hutch that there's a chicken in there there's a chicken in there sitting on eggs right now, just to keep Laura company, and I don't mess with the eggs. I just let her kind of go. She'll probably end up with some babies. But that's where Laura sleeps. She sleeps on top of that hutch, and it's just broken down, and I'm not going to remove it because Laura likes it. But it's a difficult decision to make. So I can't leave her in overnight, but when I put her in there every day and put her in front of the door, it stresses her from catching her and putting her in there, and then the peacocks don't show. But the minute I don't put her in there, they show up. And then it's just kind of a rigmarole to get out here to put her in the kennel. And by that time, they're gone. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to stop trying to get them. And I think the closer it gets to wintertime, when they know that the corn and the feed is in here, I think they'll start coming into the pasture to feed with the chickens and the turkeys. And if I can get them to do that, I'm sure that I can get them back to the point where they'll walk in and out of that peacock enclosure if I've got Miss Laura in the kennel. So that might be the route that I go, is to just try to get them comfortable with the pasture first. And that way they'll be comfortable with me moving around out here and all the animals, and the animals will get used to them and won't just go and stare at them every time. And I think that might be the best decision. See, I just needed to talk through it with you guys. Okay, well, I am going to go back to the house, and I have my binoculars at the window, and every time I go into the kitchen, I tend to look out here with binoculars and see if I can get catch a sight of those peacocks. And I got to go for a load of feed today. I've got to Helen, I've got to bake another loaf of sourdough bread today. I've got to get caught up on some laundry today. And what better day to do it? Brooke, over at Cog Hill, we always laugh about it. When it rains, we call it laundry day, because it's not a lot that you can do outside when it rains other than do laundry on the inside. But it is a nice day for ducks and geese. And I think everybody has really enjoyed the rain because all the animals are wet. The inside of the barn is just super dry and cozy and warm, and just a nice place for the animals. But all the animals have been out in the rain. They have enjoyed the rain so much that the cows are just wet. They're just loving it. Helen just seems so happy this morning. And the boys, they're happy. Nellie's happy. I think that, sometimes we just need a little washing to wash all the bad away. Need to think about that. Need a little washing to wash all that bad away. All right, y'all. I'm going to go get busy. You guys have a great day, and y'all farm on. Ethel, get your clothes on. Get your clothes on, Ethel. Too late. I done got a free shot.